Good evening from the newsroom. The news summary for this Tuesday, 7th of May. The Principal Secretary for Lands, Denis Sababi, says that the recently approved revisions to the land allocation policy will allow government to manage more responsibly land allocation. With over 2,000 people who are waiting to buy a plot of land from the government, the policy will now require that they show that they have the financial ability of 1.2 million rupees to develop the land. The decision of the government to allocate new land parcels will also depend on the age of the application.
The policy changes that we're doing is just a minor tweak to more or less streamline a little bit our operations and provide a platform for us to link with our strategic goals, whereby we want to have a credible list of applicants that's waiting for land, and also ensure that the applicants that is waiting for land, waiting to be assessed with land, knows their exact parameters against whom they are measured, especially the financial ability criteria. The financial ability criteria is basically the ability of the applicants to buy and develop the land. We want to have a credible list of applicants that will allow us to move on to the next phase, which is now planning ahead and managing our clients better along with the project envelope that we have for the next 3 years. The target is for us to allocate 100 plots per year. If that is the case, and if the budget continues to provide for this, then the client management becomes easier.
The National Day Celebrations Committee has released more information on the celebrations for Constitution Day and Independence Day this year. They will be holding a variety of activities, from the traditional flag raising and parade to newer activities such as a Mutia Night and a Unity Relay. The committee encourages members of the public to participate and say that registered businesses that wish to contribute as vendors should contact ESSA for more information.
As per tradition, the Constitution Day is celebrated with a flag-raising ceremony on Mahe, Praslin, and Ladig, all on the same day, one after the other. And on the 29th of June, we have the traditional military parade. Between all these activities are a lot of other side activities, for example, musical shows, traditional music events. And one new activity this year is the Unity Relay, which will involve participation of teams of runners from all the districts of Mahe, Praslin, and Ladig to basically run around the main island of Mahe and Praslin and Ladig to unite all the districts together. It's a symbolic relay to unite the districts, but also to promote good health and exercise and outdoor life and so on.
Isaac Njenga, the first Kenyan first High Commissioner to be accredited to Seychelles, presented his letter of accreditation to President Wavell Ramkalawan at State House this morning. High Commissioner Njenga said he discussed cooperation with President Ramkalawan, such as maritime security, tourism, education, amongst others. He also paid a courtesy visit on Vice President Ahmed Afif. High Commissioner Njenga is based in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Seychelles and Kenya established diplomatic ties on the 10th of January 1990.
We can complement each other with the safaris that Kenya is known for, the world-renowned Masai Mara and other game reserves that we have. And we can have tourists visiting Kenya as well as completing their trip in Seychelles and vice versa. And we can only gain. It can never be competition. We can only complement each other. It's complementarity. We had a problem of piracy, then it stopped for a duration of almost like 10 years when our forces together with partner countries went into Somalia. But now we see a resurgence of that. These are some of the discussions that I had with His Excellency, and how we can enhance the cooperation that already exists between our two countries in the maritime security, defense, intelligence sharing, and that would help us to, to have the capacity to deal with this vice at our cost. We also have a menace in the region that is not just limited to our region, but it's a global menace of drug trafficking and drug usage. And If we allow our population to get involved in drugs, then we have a national security threat in our countries, because this will be a community of people who will not be productive in building the economy, and also become a threat, because drug usage sometimes is funded by criminal activity. So transnational crime, you cannot fight it as a country alone. You can only do it successfully if you're in partnership with others, and particularly those you are with in close proximity or in neighborhood. So this is an area that we discussed, that we need to revamp our cooperation. Let me also mention the area of agriculture. Kenya has, over the years, done very well in the field of agriculture. We don't have a very huge chunk of land in terms of percentage of arable land, but in the land that we have maximized output. This is something that we can be able to share with the Republic of Seychelles and the Seychellois community. So already there exists some cooperation between the, I think, School of Agriculture and the Egerton University, one of our premier institutions in the field of agriculture, technology and livestock production. But also Kenyans can learn from Seychelles on the fisheries and blue economy. Seychelles has done extremely well in fisheries. You know, now you've developed to a very huge extent aquaculture, and you're doing also fish caging. You have done very well in production and processing of tuna, and this is an area that we hope to learn from Seychelles and build our capacity. And indeed, we have quite a number of Kenyans working in these factories, in the fisheries, offshore in the tuna factory, and offshore in the fishing vessels. And we hope to be able to learn from yourselves. We have many areas. We think we can be able to build sound cooperation on the field of health sector, the field of education. We have a number of Kenyan educators here doing a very good job, I believe, particularly in the secondary level. And we hope that we can develop, and we just discussed this with His Excellency, a program of even internship and student exchanges. We can push it further to even teachers exchanges, so that we learn from each other's practice, and we see what it is that we can be able to do to lift up our standards of education, because we are not competing among ourselves. We are competing against the entire globe with the kind of graduates that we bring out of our high schools and even in our universities. So these are the main areas we discussed with His Excellency. Obviously, His Excellency is a friend of Kenya. He has been to Kenya many times. He also remembers fondly the last state visit by the former President Uhuru Kenyatta, and the many agreements that were signed at that time. We had a total of about 10 MOUs that were signed in various fields, some of which I've mentioned, some of which I have not mentioned, because there are many mutual legal assistance and many areas of cooperation. And my being here is to just give impetus to that.
And with this, we end the news summary. At 8, there'll be the news in Creole. Have a very pleasant evening.